6. Chet's dad's mood shifted from angry to contemplative to logical. I get the allure of a desert island full of pleasure experiences, his dad said during their last dinner together, but if you break things down into their component parts, I think you'll find that you could develop more life experience in a first world country attending college. Wait, let's think about this. Colleges contain more girls than you could possibly imagine, right? And if you can't fathom breaking from Burger Zone, I'm sure you could find a local franchise or affiliate in need of labor. If your primary interest is in the research project, which I can appreciate, I guarantee that you could find a number of university projects of greater consequence. Better yet, start one of your own. All you need is a compelling proposal and you're bound to get some level of funding. I've seen your code. It's better than anything I've ever written. Who in their right mind with your level of ability would spend his next 3 years tasting meat? He'd be administering the tests, Chet's mom reminded, so maybe it could be a college paper later on. Well, that's an excellent idea. Here's a paper I wrote using proprietary corporate research. Do you have any additional creative ideas? An argument ensued. Chet heard little of it as his mind drifted into visions of his star-bound future. He imagined the long messages he might receive from Beatrix, and he envisioned his own replies which he would record before a starry backdrop. He would seal each message with a kiss on the monitor. After dinner, they found a note on their hotel room floor. It read, 4 a.m. Bring nothing except what you're wearing and you can carry in one hand. The note brought the argument to a swift resolution. Chet's dad agreed to bury the hatchet. The decision, he admitted, was Chet's. After that, everyone launched into a lengthy discussion about what Chet should bring. They landed on a toothbrush and an extra pair of underwear. Chet slept in his clothes. He spent most of the night squirming and rolling around in bed. Only after he turned on the TV and watched an hour of paid programming did he succeed at dozing off, but this resulted in an uncomfortable dream about yoga and salad spinners. He snapped awake after a tap on the door. A shot of adrenaline propelled him out of bed. Chet grabbed his toothbrush and underwear from atop the dresser. I'm going, Chet whispered to his sleeping parents. Watch out for deer on the road, his mom mumbled. Chet opened the door. The man on the other side had his fist raised as if preparing to knock again. Chet flinched as the hand came toward him. The blow missed. Oh, said the man. By his wrinkled suit and crooked tie, Chet wondered if the fellow had slept in his clothes. We're running late, the man said. I was expecting you to be ready. Chet held up his underwear. I am, he insisted. Then let's go, said the man. He started down the hall and beckoned Chet with a wave of his hand. His fast, short steps and straight-backed posture reminded Chet of a toy poodle trying to outrun its owner. My name is Mr. Pharaoh, said Mr. Pharaoh as they waited for the elevator. I'll be managing things. He glanced at the ceiling. Up there. All right, replied Chet. He doubted that Mr. Pharaoh was much older than himself. It felt strange referring to someone so young as Mr. What's your first name? Why should that matter? Chet supposed it didn't. Just curious, I guess. I can appreciate that, said Mr. Pharaoh. But I think it's best if we base our relationship on respect, don't you? That seems like a good idea, replied Chet. Because it is a good idea. Creating levels of authority helps keep things ticking, and one of the best means of establishing and maintaining that authority is through respect. And how do we show respect? I guess by calling you Mr.? Exactly. The elevator doors retracted. Chet started forward, but Mr. Pharaoh shouldered himself inside first. Now this is a good example of what I'm driving at. Protocol. Mr. Pharaoh paused until the doors closed. Standing back and letting your superiors proceed through every door first is another good way of respecting protocol. People notice. Sometimes even the CEO notices. I'll keep that in mind, said Chet. It's just that my old manager had a different kind of protocol. I can appreciate that, though frankly, any management that doesn't enforce strict protocol probably hasn't had executive training. And trust me, strict is the key word going forward. My instructions are to run a tight ship, and I intend to do that. We will be dotting every T and crossing every I. This will be a zero-tolerance operation. Chet's heart fluttered at the sound of the word ship. He wasn't sure what to make of the rest of Mr. Pharaoh's words. The elevator began its descent. A few seconds of silence passed before Chet asked, So where are you from? I graduated from Cox, which is an excellent choice if you are trying to decide. By some rankings, it's the best business school in Texas. Were you a manager there? It's pretty tough to work, much less manage anything if you're going to school full time, don't you think? Mr. Farrow laughed. But no, Berger's own corporate recruited me straight out of college. It's going to be tough up there, but I think my coursework and 18 months at corporate has prepared me to help us get us through whatever hardships come our way. Yeah, that's probably true. Chet noticed a sheen of sweat on Mr. Farrow's brow. The elevator slowed. Chet's new manager crossed his arms and looked down at his feet. The doors opened. They stepped into the lobby. I think things will be fine, Chet reassured. Under his breath, Mr. Farrow said, I hope so.